Okay, screw it. Screw it. I have to do it. I have to do it. That thing out there is no longer a dinosaur. It's an extreme dinosaur!
Something's really rocking on planet number 3. Modern man's got prehistoric custody. A colossal fossil feud, unlike anything before, between the reckless raptors and the extreme dinosaurs. Extreme.
Okay, Jurassic World, everybody. It's dumb. It's really, really dumb. But it's fun. It's really, really fun. Then again, that's pretty much the only kind of film I was expecting to find, and I was not disappointed. I was happy through the majority of it. I was really, really happy, really excited to see it, and I had the best mindset to enjoy it. I purposely regressed my brain faculties to the age of 7, which was the age in which I watched Jurassic Park at the cinema for the very first time. Well, minus the irrational fear of everything, because I was really scared of everything back then, but you get the point. This is a film made for you. Well, not for you specifically, but... Okay, let me go back a little bit. A lot, actually. In fact, let me go back exactly of around 100 years ago. The first ever dinosaur to ever appear in a film. Gertie the Dinosaur by Winsor McCay. Which was also arguably the very first cartoon to focus on an actual character. Although it was more like a mixed technique sort of film. Half the footage was live action, having Winsor McCay with his guests discussing the prospect of training a dinosaur, and the other half of it was the animated portion of it, with Gertie following the orders of the master. Now, cut back 100 years into the future, 2015, Jurassic World. Hugo Pratt is doing what Winsor McCay did 100 years ago. He is training dinosaurs. That's pretty much the only little element of commonality I'm going to give the two of them. If you think about it, dinosaurs have been part of our culture, of cinema, particularly Hollywood, since a century ago. And they actually never left. We had Gertie the Dinosaur, we had 1925's The Lost World, featuring stop-motion animated dinosaurs in a live-action film. Stop-motion animation being the go-to special effect for these big-budget productions back in the day. 1933, we had dinosaurs in King Kong. Yeah. We had those really, really well-animated dinosaurs in Fantasia, which pretty much were the default look for dinosaurs for half a century, up until Spielberg came along, that is. And of course we had all the monsters made by special effects genius Ray Harryhausen, most of which just happened to be dinosaurs. So, as you can see, we had dinosaurs since the beginning of time. Well, not literally the beginning of time, but the beginning of cinema. And now that you feel so intellectually appeased by this knowledge, let's go back to the dumb stuff. Now, if you were a kid in the 90s, chances are you were a fan of dinosaurs. You loved dinosaurs. Because even though dinosaurs have been part of our culture since time immemorial, they were never as popular in that particular period of time in between The Land Before Time, which, by the way, it's the greatest dinosaur movie ever made, and I'll fight you in the streets if you don't agree with me. And, of course, everything that came after Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park, which was basically when the dino craze, let's call it like that, pretty much exploded in all of its glorious glory. And dinosaurs were everywhere Not only in cinema, but in cartoons, TV, comics, especially cartoons. I mean, I didn't reference Extreme Dinosaurs earlier on for nothing. Jurassic World is one anthropomorphized dinosaur away from becoming Extreme Dinosaurs. At this point, I know you already watched that, because why would you not watch it? Especially if you are my age. You see, Jurassic World, going into this film, I think I had the perfect mindset for it, because I was not expecting anything smart. Of course I was not expecting anything smart. It's a Jurassic Park film. What am I going to get from it? Scientific accuracy? Dinosaurs with feathers? Oh, please! You can keep those scientifically accurate dinosaurs. I want my mother effing T-Rex! As the song goes. And I did get that. And so much more. You see, up until this point, I've been subjected to reboots and remakes of reboots and sequels of other reboots, constantly. But it was always with IPs and properties, intellectual or not. They were always before my time. And when I say before my time, I mean before the time I actually was young yet old enough to actually go see films at the cinema. I saw Jurassic Park at age 7 in 1993. It left an impression. So now, 2 decades later, I'm watching the new Jurassic Park film, Jurassic World. And it's stupid! Well, the original wasn't exactly all that smart too, but it had this wow factor in it. It wows you with all the special effects and the dinosaurs doing their dinosaur-y things and excitement and action and you were attached to the characters, you were on the edge of your seat waiting for the next appearance of the mighty T-Rex and also those Velociraptors. Who could forget those? And while no other film made after Jurassic Park will ever have that wow factor in it, because, let's face it, that film was very much ahead of its time, and its CG effects hold up to this very day, but it had a majority of animatronics in it, and those animatronics were really cool, as they were expensive. Now it's all CGI, logically speaking. And the dinosaurs look good, but you're not exactly wowed by it anymore. But what actually does get me emotionally is the darnest things, really. When you have this shot of the entire park, with the helicopter views of it, going through the entirety of the place, as the legendary theme from the original film plays in the background and goes higher and higher in tone as you get closer to the full view of the park. So whenever I hear da na 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 da da na 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 na, I am moved to tears. I am so happy. And then of course there's the dun 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 da da dun da 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 da. Nostalgic levels go over the roof, so to speak. This is a film that makes me happy, regardless of its lack of coherency and dumb plot twists. And speaking of the plot, let's just make fun of it, because, come on. I'm sure every film critic and reviewer on the internet is having a field day with this film, so why not me? The freaking mutated dinosaur being, what's it called again? The Indominus Rex. At least that's how it's called in the Italian version. I don't know if that's its original name, but bear with me. This was the Italian version. I'm sure I'm not missing much, though, from the no doubt really clever dialogues and exposition dumps that these films have a tendency to throw at you, but it's part of the joyride, so to speak. You cannot have a Jurassic Park without dumb exposition thrown in it. Although you could have Jurassic Park without the stupid military subplot of militarizing the Velociraptors for bringing them to war, and that guy that was introduced in this film just so he could get eaten by a Velociraptor. You know that guy. Likeable guy, really. So, yeah, that's probably the only part of the film that I did not enjoy. Although I did enjoy the idea of this guy basically reprising the classic John Hammond's speech, only to be rudely interrupted by a Velociraptor that was pretty much proceeding to eat him alive. While the good guys stood there and did nothing. Our heroes. I like the idea of Hugo Pratt, or Starlord, as it were, training the dinosaurs, the Velociraptors, forming this link in between them, as if he were the alpha male. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was among the small crowd that really enjoyed the idea of watching this film just to see Starlord riding that motorcycle alongside the Velociraptors. So I was a bit disappointed when there was, well, no actual fight after that. Then again, I'm pretty sure everyone and their dogs at that point was expecting the freaking mutated Indominus Rex to convince the Velociraptors to join the dark side of dinosaur force. Yes. Okay. Like I said, I had the time of my life with this film, but there is no denying that if you stop for a moment and think about it, what's happening here? I mean, this Indominus Rex creature, it's made of a handful of DNA of animals, it's been said, including other dinosaurs, okay? It's magic science, don't question it. But it seems to me that this DNAs of animals seems to work under the ruling of the plot. Hey, the dinosaur cannot be individuated through the thermal devices that can capture thermal activity of the body. That's why he has this and that creature in his DNA that allows him to do so. Okay, sure, I'll buy that. Hey, the Velociraptors are not going to hunt this guy? Or this girl, I mean to say. They're not going to attack him because, hey, guess what? He also has Velociraptor DNA, so they're going to be best buds. Okay, next thing you know, he has even human DNA, because apparently he's immune to intelligence, I want to say. This dinosaur has the plot convenience DNA in it, let's face it. And yet, I was so invested in this creature that also kind of looked like a giant Velociraptor, so really, it was not a surprise to learn that it had Velociraptor DNA. That's why I said everybody was expecting that. At least I was. But I was invested in the idea that, oh, this dinosaur is so smart, he's eluding all the traps. He is literally leading that chopper, that helicopter that it's chasing after it, into the giant birdcage, and then he literally roared at the pteranodons, or mutated variants of those, to go attack the chopper! And they do. And the chopper is destroyed. And the Indominus is just there watching his handiwork. And when the chopper gets destroyed, he just runs away. That's what I get from that scene. I mean, think about it. I think that that's what literally happened there. He went into the birdcage, he ordered the birds, the flying dinosaurs, to attack the helicopter, and everything that you see in that scene, in that whole sequence, seems to support that interpretation. And the fact that you actually see her, communicating with the Velociraptors later on pretty much confirms the fact that she can communicate with other dinosaurs. And she can give order arounds. She's an evil super villain, evil James Bond villain in dinosaur form. These puny humans will never defeat me. Now go kill them, my loyal minions. I want to see the version of this film with subtitles. I want to see what those dinosaurs are actually saying to each other. It's going to be another cinematic experience in its own right. You could argue, why didn't they shoot the dinosaur once they realized pretty much immediately that the Velociraptor were not going to attack it? Well, I guess interrupting their chat was really rude, so they didn't want to be rude. Yeah, okay. But this all leads up to that fantastically idiotic scene towards the climax, in which Starlord and other supporting cast members we don't really care about in the long run. They are likable, but they are a bit bi-dimensional. I mean, they are classic by-the-book cartoon characters, much like characters in this film franchise have always been. But anyway, Starlord and support cast characters were surrounded by the Velociraptors, ready to attack, but Starlord looks the Raptor in the eye, and the Raptor looks Starlord in the eye, and there's an understanding. And then, the Indominus Rex comes along, he roars at the Raptors, basically yelling to them, "Why are you not killing them? Kill the humans! Kill them all! No longer we shall be slaves of the humans! This is the dinosaur revolution! Our time has come again! So go kill the humans!" That's what I imagine. That's what's going on in the dinosaur's mind. That's what I imagine is going on. Come on. So much materials for jokes. So, after that, the Raptor looks the Indominus Rex in the eye. The Indominus Rex looks the Raptor in the eye. There's an understanding. Then the Raptor turns around, looks Starlord in the eye, and then he says, "Now go!" He says something more on the line of "rah rah," but it definitely to me sounded like he was saying, "Now go." Now, I don't need to tell you how really dumb that scene is, but there is no denying that it was the most hilarious thing. Just freaking the dinosaur he has a connection with, but then they changed momentarily sides. They went to the dark side of Dinosaur Force, but then they look their master, their father, in the eye, and it says, "Father, you are my true father. I will follow you to the death. I will save your life from the evil Dark Force dinosaur, because I am the good dinosaur. Because I am not a freaking animal, apparently." Even though the film has been stating up until this point that they are animal with instincts, no. Now they are like humans, they take sides and they fight for the good guys, and then... Now go! I'm angry, I'm going to eat you alive, you puny human! Wait, no, what am I saying? That's my father! That's my true family! I can't do this! I am torn apart by my instincts and my rationale, by my loyalties and my... What is my family? Who am I? No, no, Indominus Rex, you are not my real family. I shall not follow you. Father, save yourself. I will... will buy you some time with my heroic sacrifice. Now go. Now go! Dun 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 dun. See what I mean when I tell you this film is one step away from becoming extreme dinosaurs. Next thing you know, the sequel will actually literally have human dinosaur hybrid super soldiers, which was actually a literal screenplay that existed at some point. I want you to think about that. But all that incoherence, all that nonsense and stupidity ultimately doesn't matter. Why? Because this film is fun. It knows what it wants to be. It is what it is. And it knows how to be entertaining. And above all, this is pretty much the only Jurassic Park film we could have hoped to see. I mean, even the original wasn't all that smart to begin with, or scientifically accurate, as we established, so might as well take that premise and go all the way with it, and put all your focus into the entertaining part, even though it doesn't make any sense. And speaking of pure, unrestrained spectacularness, climax of the film. The T-Rex versus the Indominus Rex. This is the fight we already gotten in Jurassic Park 3, except it was not short, it was not half-baked, and more importantly, it didn't happen at the beginning of the film. It was the climax. We have been building up the imminent appearance of the T-Rex, and they kept it hidden up until it was time to bust him out of his cage for the final confrontation with the Indominus Rex. And it was glorious! And then, something possibly even dumber than the now go raptor scene happens. The T-Rex is about to get killed by the Indominus Rex, and then the last remaining raptor runs towards the bad dinosaur in slow motion, yelling, "I'll save you, T-Rex! Roar!" He doesn't literally say that, but come on. So it becomes a 2-on-1 handicap match. The T-Rex and the Velociraptor team up to face the evil dinosaur, mutated dinosaur. And then they have the better of him with the Unholy Alliance. And then he gets eaten by the freaking giant crocodile dinosaur monster that I can't remember the name, I'm sorry. Which was the perfect cherry on top of the cake that we ate and enjoyed. And then, the T-Rex and the Raptor, they look at each other, the Raptor looks at the T-Rex in the eye, and the T-Rex looks at the Raptor in the eyes. And there's an understanding. And then, they go to their separate ways. Once again, reclaiming the island that was their original home, free of the slavery imposed by the humans, because apparently it was the theme of the film, if you manage to find an actual theme amidst all the chaotic fun and stupidity. But hey, it's a dinosaur flick! It has dinosaurs in it, plenty of them, and it's entertaining. I had the time of my life. It felt like I was back being a kid watching some dumb action film, and I switched off my brain and I just enjoyed the ride for what it was. It deserved to be enjoyed for what it was. Don't think about it. Just look at the dinosaurs fighting each other. And, you know, looking at each other in the eyes, I meant to say. Looking at each other in the eyes, there's an understanding. We are all dinosaurs together. the mutated one, is the scene against nature and science. Even though technically we were all created with science and other animal DNAs. But hey, at least we don't have feathers, because we really look stupid with feathers. Screw you, science! We're dinosaurs! Rawr! I think I was supposed to relate with the adult nerd in this film, who had a collection of dinosaurs, which was pretty much the adult fan of Jurassic Park, while kids watching this film were supposed to relate with the younger protagonist, about their ideal age, who was already fixated with dinosaurs. To be honest, I related more with the kid, because, let's face it, that kid is you. That kid was you and me when we were that age, and we were in the midst of the dino craze, and we were all fan of Jurassic Park. Now go!
I'm the motherfucking T-Rex! I'm the motherfucking T-Rex! So I ate that bitch! I'm the motherfucking T-Rex! I'm the motherfucking T-Rex!